Remember to subscribe and hit the notification button to keep up to date with our latest videos.
All right, you guys, today we are completely balling out in an S63 AMG. Like, let's not even kid ourselves here. I can't start this video by just being all like relaxed and all right, you guys, we're in an S63. No, this is crazy. This is like well past $200,000 Canadian after everything car, out of the showroom door. And this is like, if you want the most GT of GT luxury sports coupes, this is pretty much the king. AMG is by far at the top of their game right now here in 2018, and this is a 2017 S63 AMG. So yes, it is the S63 AMG Coupe. It is the two-door. It's actually a little bit longer than a Panamera, okay? And the Panamera, I mean, compared to a 911, looks very long, but this is a big vehicle. But you know what? Like, kind of sitting here, it doesn't feel all too big. And the first thing you notice is, number one, when you don't have your insane beats bumping on this amazing sound system here, it's very quiet. This is insanely quiet. If you feel the window on the side here, and on the passenger side and everything, it is incredibly thick, and it seals you off completely in your own little spot to just kind of, you know, enjoy the road. And this is my first time actually in the new AMG interiors, so all of this kind of black pinstriping here is really cool. And on the interior here, you've got the new digital display. I guess they've had it for a few years now, but this is my first time experiencing it. And I think this, as an overall package, both of these screens here, it's gonna age a lot better than all those cars that have big iPad-looking things on the dash. 577 horsepower and 663 foot-pounds of torque. This is great. Yeah, as you heard, we just got a nice little pop there on the downshift. In this transmission, if you're like kind of 20-30% throttle and you're shifting in manual mode, there is no, you don't feel it at all. You actually do not feel the shifts. It's so incredibly smooth. All right, you guys, so this is the 5.5 liter bi-turbo V8. So that is basically why it has all that torque. You get it completely low down, and then, but it still revs. Like, this is a true Autobahn two-door GT cruiser if there ever was one. So like all the way up, you get those crazy, wow. And I just felt that too. Automatic bolsters in the seats as well, so when you're going around corners or accelerating quick in a straight line, it will just kind of tighten up the seat. and keep you nice and snug, which is pretty cool. And then it also has a heads-up display, and I can see which direction I'm going and where I am and all that good stuff. Really violent gear changes there when you're at like full throttle. That one was super seamless though. Wow. Cool fact about this car too, it is the quietest car on the road, on the inside. For road noise, for wind noise, it is so aerodynamic, and they manage the airflow so well in this car, especially with the thick windows. Again, that helps too. And the ride comfort, it all just comes together, and it's meant to isolate you. That's what it is. And guess what? It's not shouty. You look at this car, normal people, they're not going to see it and think, oh wow, that's the new DB11 or something. You know, that is a striking car, and it's kind of calling attention upon itself. This is kind of the opposite. Like, this is incredibly fast, and almost 700 foot-pounds of torque. This thing does not mess around. It can hang with, you know, 458, faster than a 458, among other supercars as well. There we go. Okay, all right. I generally have like in my mind, a hard limiter of how fast I would take people's cars on a public road, and we're in like prime conditions, and that's basically as fast as I'm comfortable going. Even in this car, which is very seamless. Like AMG cars are perfect at that. They are perfect for masking speed. It's so easy to drive too. That's the beauty of this car. It's so easy to drive. Pedal position's good. You've got massage seats. You definitely get what you pay for in this car. It's got every feature imaginable. But the one thing that this car absolutely will do, no matter what, when you get in it, like, I just feel like a boss right now. Like, you feel like $1 million when you're in an S63 AMG, and there's no way around it. Yeah, I honestly, in 2018, the fact that a vehicle can be this fast, and yeah, it has all the safety features and stuff, but the fact that more people don't just run these straight into a tree is beyond belief. Like, 700 foot-pounds of torque, if you were talking about that in the year 2000, that is insane. Like, race cars had that, and that's it, right? But now, it's for a, you know, six-figure car, it's pretty commonplace to have over 600 foot-pounds of torque. You know, Cadillac CTS-V, this bunch of other German saloons and stuff will have this crazy amount of torque, and it's kind of become normal, which is a scary thought. Even downshifting into first does not upset the car at all. Like, that was seamless. Oh yeah. Oh, it soaks up everything so well. I think that's my favorite thing about this car. It's so incredibly fast, but it just kind of feels like you're skimming. It's almost like a boat. As much as I would rather have our analog tach and an analog speedo, they did a really good job with the digital. Like, it looks pretty decent. It looks really clean. It's very responsive. There's no delay in what you're actually seeing and what the car is doing. But that's pretty much my one major gripe about this here, is that I think with all the class that's going on in this car and with all the awesome stuff on the interior, I think to have a proper analog, nicely designed, good materials, and just kind of put it so it's, you know, it's got a 3D feel to it. It's a physical thing, right, versus just a digital screen. But that's just me. Maybe I'm not meant to move with the times. Transmission's miles more responsive than the previous gen C63 AMG, but that's to be expected. It doesn't feel like a dual clutch, like it's not there yet, but it is seamless. It's more seamless than a lot of other transmissions I've felt recently, for sure. That's unreal. And fuel level's low already. Oh, this thing is so impractical, but practical, you know? Like, the fuel is bad. The fuel is really, really bad. So that's the unpractical part. But everything else is like, you're never going to want for anything in this car. Anything. Anyways, let's get Jesse on camera and we'll talk more about the car, what he likes about the car after driving it for a very long time and considering trading this for a GT3, which is a very interesting choice. All right, Jesse, just bringing out the big guns today, huh?
What's up, Mike?
This dude, okay, thanks for coming back, by the way.
No problem.
Okay, we can start with just quickly going from this car to a 991.1 GT3. What's that all about?
Yeah, so I was considering trading this car in for a GT3 just because I had the i8. If you guys remember, I did an i8 video with Marcus, and to me that is a GT as well. It's a cheaper version of this car in my opinion. It's less comfortable. So I just wanted to get into something that's a little bit more sporty, a lot more sporty, something that you know, that I can have more fun driving in the summer. But this is a great car. You know, I had it for 11 months. I'm gonna, you know, keep it for a little bit longer because the GT3 deal fell through. But this is one of my favorite cars I've ever owned. It's the most comfortable car I've ever been in. When we were considering this car, we were considering the Bentley GT. Compared to Bentley GT, obviously we're talking about the previous generation, not the new version that's just coming out. It's way more comfortable. The interior is absolutely gorgeous. It's got the autonomous driving technology, kind of like the Tesla Model S and Model X. But sometimes it can get kind of annoying. That could be a bad thing too, because like I said, sometimes it's almost like your mom thinking she knows better. Right, of course. Kind of like helping you make your decisions.
So what are some of the things, what are some of your favorite things about this car? Like, we've kind of gone over a few. And then what are kind of some of the sore spots? Because you kind of have to be nitpicky to find anything you don't like about this car. Or at least I think so.
Exactly. Okay, so I was talking to Mark. I was telling Marcus about this. Number one thing that I love about this car is I actually have a severe case of road rage syndrome.
How could you not in Vancouver?
I don't really know what if people are like me, but you know, like when I'm stuck in traffic and someone cuts me off, I get pretty annoyed. To say the least. And the only car that I can be calm and collective in traffic, in bumper-to-bumper traffic in Vancouver, is this car. Like, I can sit in traffic all day in this car because you got the beautiful sound system, the isolated cabin, you know, the beautiful ambiance. It's just, when you're sitting in traffic in this car, you don't, like, time flies. It's not a nightmare like other cars. You know, I was sitting in a sports car in a GT3, for example. It would be a pain in the butt. But sitting in this car, for some reason, it doesn't feel as painful. Like, you enjoy the ride. You just, you know, you fall into your beautiful seats. And it's just a gentleman's car.
Completely, 100%. It's a gentleman's car, but it's not an old man's car.
And especially at night, with the ambient lighting that this car offers, with the beautiful red leather interior, it's on another level. Like, you feel like you're sitting at a club or something with the rap music pumping. You really feel like a boss on the inside. And that's a good thing, because like, I like to feel like a boss on the inside, but when I step out of the car, I don't want people to stare at me and make me feel self-conscious. So,
so what do you not like about the car?
The number one thing is how much it depreciates. That wasn't something that I was anticipating. I guess I knew going into this car that it's going to depreciate, but not as much as it actually did. Because we bought this car brand new a year ago. Its sticker is a little bit over 200,000
Canadian.
Canadian. After taxes, is close to 250. And you know, at the time, looking back, I would have gotten a slightly used one. I didn't think we were gonna lose this much money if I were to trade it in yesterday. I got offered $135,000 for this car.
That is insane.
So that's
crazy.
A full $100,000 depreciation
in 1 year.
In 1 year, less than 1 year, 4,000 kilometers. This car is next to brand new. I mean, everything else, like Marcus said, you know, it's almost perfect. But there is a few things that's really annoying, as you saw in the previous clip, or like 5 minutes ago. Marcus made a turn, and he mistaken the gear selector as his turn signal. Basically, it's on the right side, and it feels exactly the same as your turn signal on the left side. So it doesn't stick out or anything, but they put it over there you might mistakenly put your car in neutral. I did that like 3 times yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the placement of the gear selector is definitely something that I think they should fix, or maybe just make it a little bit more visible, a little bit more towards the back, so you don't forget what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the other thing is the fuel efficiency is terrible in this car. It's got a big engine. And
Yes,
it's
that is
thirsty.
definitely yeah. Thanks for coming out, Jesse. I really appreciate this. Here, I'm gonna move around up here. Yeah, I really appreciate it. This is I'm excited to see if something along the line comes differently. If you get something different, or if you, like you said, end up keeping this for a while, and how you feel in like the long term, even further down the line about this car.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, go hit up Jesse on Instagram. You can follow below there. And yeah, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll get you on the podcast sometime too.
Yeah,
that goes up on iTunes and Shout Engine and all your podcast apps and all that good stuff. Thanks, guys, for watching. Thanks, Jesse.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We'll see you guys next time.